Quick symptoms and situation, then I'll get right to it. Replacing the fuel filter. After fixing every single thing on this vehicle major that had been wrong with it, took a while, delay due to discontinued parts and tools, decided to drive it on a road trip to go to Spartan Race weekend a couple weekends ago. Almost there, almost 4 hours away, and the MPG tanked, and got a tank of gas because it wasn't going to make it otherwise. Then the vehicle started to stall, and it was hard to start. It just like it was flooded at times, and it was rather sporadic, and then sometimes it would start functioning okay. By the time I got to where I needed to be, it pretty much stranded me. It stalled so much. I was working on it in between the races, 2 days for each day, and with the help of a very kind lady working at the AutoZone in that town, I was able to get it to where it was functioning well enough to get home. And that's where I'm at now. So the stress and everything that happened that weekend is making me wonder if these medals were worth it. But I've finished the races, so that's good. Fuel filter for a Chevy Tracker. It's right behind the back passenger tire, up above the crossmember. Took me a minute to find this. Inside the glove box, towards the driver's side, you're wanting to remove the fuel relay, which I believe is that one right there. After going after the relay in the behind the glove box, all I could reach were some fingertips, and it became so frustrating I couldn't even unclip the stupid thing. A couple of different things in a pick and had no luck, so I hit the forums. And one member suggested unplugging the fuel pump, which is behind the left driver's side tail. Behind the little protective covering there are 2 clips, so I am going to hit the wiring diagrams and figure out which one is for the fuel pump. And for the sake of your head, if you have a tow hitch, go ahead and pull that before you start working on this. It'll greatly reduce the number of opportunities you'll have to get a nice tow hitch shaped bruise on your forehead. Went through the manual 3 times, and there are no wiring schematics for the fuel pump, so I asked on that same forum again, same guy, told me it's the fuel pump is the one with the pink wire and a black stripe, and he confirmed that unplugging this whole connector won't do any damage when you run the vehicle out of gas to depressurize the system. I went ahead and put a little label on it for future reference for those of us with terrible memories. Now, take the gas cap off to release fuel line pressure, and then reinstall. And listen for the pump when you turn the key on. Good news, I did not hear it, so I think it's off. And you're supposed to run the vehicle until it runs out of gas. Into the book, it says 2-second bursts, residual fuel pressure. And disconnect the negative off the battery. It's where there's no chance it can reconnect. And towels, paper, container for the spillage. Unless you really love the smell of gasoline everywhere. Since you're going to be underneath the fuel filter and there's a good chance some of it's going to drip on you, definitely use goggles, glasses of any kind. And I'm not going to be able to video this because I don't want to risk fuel landing on my phone. Just 1 wrench on each nut and twist one side at a time. Once I get it loose, I'm going to let it drain a little bit before I remove it completely. That way I can minimize how much gas gets everywhere and on. It came out. The other side's being a little difficult, but I'm not at the best angle. Trying to avoid getting a bunch of gas spilled on me. So now that it's drained, I give it another couple minutes just in case there's any more drips, and get the other side. I got the filter on, and I'm about to reconnect this. Looking for corrosion, and it looks pretty good. And as suggested, I'm going to put dielectric grease on it and then start it and check for leaks. Well, great news is it started right up. and it's dry. I'm going to come back and check it in a minute because I don't feel like being next to the exhaust this long. Still dry. Okay, well, that's done. I just need to tighten that bracket up a little bit and good to go. Oh, and I was in a hurry, so I didn't line them up, but these are for the brake lines to sit in place, but do this on a full tank if you don't want to have to deal with this The one coming from the tank was leaking pretty bad, so I ended up just putting it on really fast. If you go this route, don't forget to rewrap the wiring connectors. Sure, I had a clogged fuel filter. Except whenever I went to start it after I unplugged the fuel pump, it wouldn't even start. Either there wasn't enough pressure in the line because of the fuel filter, or because I unplugged the pump, so that might happen when you do it. So I had the fun of having to deal with the fuel draining all over the place, which is what this is. Keep that in mind if you go this route, and you might not be able to run it out of gas. Looking inside this thing, I don't think you can really see it, but it's very dark on this side. This side looks good. I thought it was clogged, and I think this might have been my problem, one of my problems. Still needs to go on a test drive, but it looks like the problem might be cleared up now. Idling okay, a little rough, but I was looking at it, I think it needs new spark plugs. Engine light didn't come on automatically like it did before, so hopefully it was just a clogged fuel filter. Driven at city, freeway, stop and go, and PMs are holding steady. One thing I will say, whenever you're working with the fuel filter, do it outside or with a fan, because my eyes are actually burning a little bit right now, and it's because I was too close to the fumes for a little too long with the gas. But it's okay, I'll live.